To understand further on application of sampling distribution of sample proportion, let us use the following case. You can pause your video to read the case on your own. And based on the case, we will answer the first question is, with the sample of 50 illegal immigrants, what is the probability that more than 20% live in California? And the second one is, if the sample is increased to 100, what is the probability that more than 20% live in California? And the third one, we shall compare the result from A and B and find out the reason why there is a difference in the probability. So let us first answer the first question with a sample of 50 illegal immigrants. We have the information of the population proportion is 23%. So the P is 23%, and the sample proportion, or the estimate based on the condition here, is 20%, with a sample of 50. Before we calculate the probability, let us check first if the sample proportion approximates a normal distribution. Using the guideline of checking normal probability approximation, we know that it follows a normal distribution as the value NP and N minus P should be greater than 5. And based on our calculation here, it is both greater than 5. Here it is 11.5, and from the second condition it is 38.5. So we can proceed to calculate the probability using the normal probability approximation. Now, to find the probability that more than 20% of illegal immigrants living in California, we need to convert the proportion into the Z value. Using the formula here, we get the result that Z is equal to minus 0.50. Since we are looking for the probability that Z is greater than minus 0.5, thus we subtract 1 minus the probability of Z is equal to 0.5 that we obtain from the Z table. And we get that when Z is equal to 0.5, it is 0.3085. Thus, based on the result here, we get that the probability that more than 20% of illegal immigrant living in California is 69.15%. Now, the second condition is we have a same condition except that we increase the number of sample. What is the probability that more than 20% live in California? Because we have similar situation, only a change in the number of sample, we have proven the sample follows a normal distribution. We just need to convert the proportion into the Z value. So we convert it using the formula, and we get that Z is equal to minus 0.71. From the table, we get the probability of Z equals to minus 0.71 is 0.2389. Since we are looking for the probability when Z is greater than 0.71, minus 0.71, thus we need to subtract 1 minus 0.2389. Based on our calculation, in a sample of 100 illegal immigrants, the probability that more than 20% live in California is 76.11%. We have calculated the probability with two different number of population. We see that the probability is different because as n becomes larger, the standard deviation becomes smaller, which you can prove from the formula here. And since our case has a population proportion larger than the sample proportion, therefore the probability that more than 20% of the illegal living in California will increase as the sample gets larger.